On October 24th, 2012, Baljinder Kaur, while 7 months pregnant, gruesomely murdered her mother-in-law, 68-year-old Baljeet Kaur, inside the family's living room floor in Yuba City. She feared her mother-in-law so much that she felt the only way to protect her unborn daughter and herself was to kill her. She suffered years of abuse from her mother-in-law because she was giving birth to only girls, and according to Indian custom, daughter-in-laws are expected to produce male heirs and to be subservient to their husband's family, especially the mother-in-law. If she hadn't fought for her unborn daughter's life, she would have likely been another victim of the gendercide that has claimed the lives of millions of Indian girls.
The ethical theory that applies to this case would be act utilitarianism. Act utilitarianism is a utilitarianism theory of ethics which states a person's act is morally right only if it produces as much happiness as any other act that could have happened at the same time by that same person. An example in which a utilitarian act could be explained would be through a comparison between act utilitarianism and rule utilitarianism. So a rule utilitarian drives at night and sees a red light, thinking it would be a good consequence if people would stick to the rule and not cross red lights, so everyone is safe while waiting a short while. She would apply this rule to herself and wait for the light to turn green. Meanwhile, an act utilitarian might think, well, I certainly hope that people who aren't me in general follow the rule and stay put. But as there's no one around who might get influenced by my acts since there's no police around to find me, and since I would see an approaching car because it's dark, I might as well cross it now.
The ethical issue in this case questions whether gendercide should be practiced based on tradition. The bias against females in India is related to the fact that males provide the income and they are the ones who do most of the work in the fields. The phenomena of female infanticide is as old as many cultures and has likely accounted for millions of gender selective deaths throughout history. It remains a critical concern in a number of third world countries today, notably the two most populous countries on earth, China and India. In all cases, specifically female infanticide reflects the low status accorded to women in most of the parts of the world. It is arguably the most brutal and destructive manifestation of the anti-female bias that pervades patriarchal societies. It is closely linked to the phenomena of sex-selective abortion, which targets female fetuses almost exclusively and neglects of girl children.
Act utilitarians would say that gendercide is morally wrong because it doesn't create the greatest amount of happiness for the greatest good. The best course of action would be to keep the baby at 7 months because of the equal opportunity that the United States provides for females. Also, this situation applies to the act utilitarian focus on the effects of individual actions. If she aborted the baby, only the mother-in-law would be happy. If the mother had kept the baby, both the mother and the baby would be happy. At 7 months, a fetus can sense pain and pleasure in the womb, a guideline that act utilitarians use to decide if a fetus has moral standing. Not only is its hearing fully developed, but also responds to outside stimuli such as sound, pain, and light. This makes a fetus a sentient creature because of its ability to feel pain, according to act utilitarianism.
So we believe that utilitarian act is the best way to approach this case just because.
It was the most applicable because the other option would have been real utilitarianism, but
Right.
that states that a moral act is dependent upon rules, and
If she would have done that, yeah, if she would have done that, then she wouldn't have been able to save her child if she would have just stuck to the rules. She took it upon herself to take the best action, which was to save her child and herself.
during the time, that was her only option. But there are some other cases or outcomes from other couples in Sacramento that would support real utilitarianism because they have daughters and their mother-in-laws are okay with it. They love the daughters as much as they love the sons. So we think it's just how rooted they are to their customs.
Right. Yeah. There's definitely some cultures that take it more seriously than others. You can tell by this case, but we agree that it's not always going to be that way, and that real utilitarianism can apply, but in this case, act utilitarianism is what we should have.
My opinion on this ethical theory and case is that not only do act utilitarians base their sense of morality on whether the effects of individual actions can create the most amount of happiness, but also gives moral standing to a 7-month-old fetus, and that the mother acted on not only the safety of herself, but also the safety of her unborn child that has moral standing. Also, according to act utilitarianism, gendercide is morally wrong because it deprives the unborn child at 7 months the moral standing and opportunity to lead a fulfilling life. Also, this kind of confuses with confusion ethics because of the relationship that both the mother and daughter have, and also the relationship that the mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law have. There's also this type of case also messing with the relationship of the spouses in regards to tradition, rules, and happiness. And this is what I think of the case, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and presentation, and have a nice and wonderful day.